Kevin, what's up, Gretzinger? I suspect Bernie doesn't answer regarding certain controversial issues such as Assange to prevent his demonization, saying he supports terrorists. I saw AOC in action recently talking on Wall Street, big pharma corruption. Yeah, that's my... I know some Assange supporters don't agree with Bernie not saying anything. I wish he would speak out and say he would pardon Assange, but I agree with you, Kevin, in that I think it's a strategy of he's not gonna bring that up because then everyone will say, oh, Assange was, Russia works with WikiLeaks, so to try to undermine Hillary, so, Bernie's part of Russia and all that, That's my thinking as to why he won't come forward for Assange. To my knowledge, the only presidential candidate to say they would pardon Julian Assange is Tulsi Gabbard, which is one of the things I like about her a lot. I mean, I like both Bernie and Tulsi, and when I hear like fighting between Bernie and Tulsi supporters on social media, it doesn't make any sense. Or people saying Tulsi should drop out of the race. You want to point out things about her policies that you don't like, I'm all for it. And some of those, like, I think Bernie's Medicare for All is better than Tulsi's. I think it's better that, I think Tulsi's, I'm glad that she's saying she would flat out pardon Julian Assange. I think her foreign policy is better than Bernie. I think Bernie's Green New Deal is better than anybody's. And, Tulsi wrote the Off Act. But for people to say Tulsi should drop out of the race, that doesn't make sense. Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg should drop out of the race. The billionaires who just get to buy their way in, they shouldn't even be allowed in. I think when I hear them say that, and there's some people that I really like and respect that have said that, I'm always like, well, that's puzzling because the primary process is not just about one person. Like, we still have to have the primaries. We have to have the Iowa caucuses in New Hampshire, and we have to have all of the states' primaries have to happen. And it'll start whittling down, and part of the primary process is to get to know who candidates are, but also to pull the party. What's been happening since 2016 is people have been trying to pull the party more to the left. The corporate Democrats want to keep it center and center right. So having Tulsi on the debate stage, we saw what happened when she wasn't there in the last debate. I don't think that was good for Bernie that she wasn't there. So it's good that someone is running for office who is calling out the Democratic Party, calling Hillary Clinton a warmonger, and saying we need to get out of these regime change wars, and saying it's okay that I met with Assange because JFK met with Khrushchev. Pelosi met with Assange. John Kerry met, excuse me. John Kerry met with Assange when he was Secretary of State. So it's good to have Tulsi in there, and it's good. Like, I've been very critical of Andrew Yang, but I also think it's good he's running for president. He's not going to be president. Andrew Yang is not going to be president, but it's good he's talking about UBI. It's good he's talking about automation. I don't like his UBI. Well, not that I don't like it. There's some flaws or some things I don't agree with about Andrew Yang's UBI plan. His Medicare or his healthcare plan is to the right of Joe Biden's, and I was very critical of him in a video I did. He also takes super PAC money. Tulsi and Bernie, the only two people that don't take corporate money. So, but it's good Andrew Yang's there. I'm glad he brought. I mean, when a couple debates ago, when Castro brought up some different ideas of how to expand the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court isn't this, it's become this Democrat-Republican, final battle. And Castro brought up we could bring up judges from the appellate courts and all that other stuff. That's good. That's a good thing to hear. Like, was it Dan Inslee or Jay Inslee, the Washington governor? He was never going to be president. He just wanted to get his message out of a Green New Deal. And everything he said when he was on the debate stage was about how severe climate change is. Everything that he said. That was important. And I know people who live in the state of Washington were like, well, Graham, he did this and this. He's not that great. So, yeah, and it's good to be critical of people. But this primary process, I want to know what people really stand for, what their policies and platforms are. That's what's so frustrating about the debates is these corporate media people ask these corporate Democrats these ridiculous questions. Or they ask loaded questions to like Bernie and Tulsi, and it's like I want to hear a policy debate. I want to hear what your policies and platforms are going to be, and how you're going to implement them, and how that's going to work. So I think, my hope is that Bernie picks Tulsi as his VP, but that's not going to happen for another 5 months or maybe longer. The convention is in July. I think it'd be smart for Bernie to pick ahead of the convention, but I think the Democratic Party sees that Bernie is actually gaining momentum, and they're going to try to pull him to the center, and they're going to try to get him to pick some corporate Democrat, like a woman that's a corporate Democrat or something like that. That's what I'm seeing happen. So.